Round 11, Wes climbed on a chair and clapped for attention. We want to give a special award tonight to someone who means a lot to this group. He pulled the cloth, and there it was. My name, the number 47, engraved in the metal, and the laughter started. That rolling wave that builds when everyone is in on the joke, and the target is standing in the middle of it smiling like an idiot. Wes held the trophy out with both hands. Speech? I took it and looked at the number, looked at the 30 people laughing, looked at Wes and his big grin with the scar on his lip from the punch he took for me. Yeah, I'll give a speech. I set the trophy on the table next to the cloth. The room was still laughing. I walked to the side table where Wes had left his phone charging by the speaker, unplugged it, opened the group chat, and held it up so the screen faced the room. Nobody could read it from that distance, but the gesture shut people up because they could tell something had shifted. I threw the phone across the room to a girl named Danny, who caught it against her chest with both hands and stared at me. Read the message with your name in it. Danny looked at the screen. Her mouth fell open, and she read the words out loud, and her voice shook, and she looked at the person who wrote them, and the person stared at the carpet. Wes lunged across the room, and Danny threw the phone to a kid by the window. Read yours, I said. The kid caught it, scrolled, and his whole face rearranged from confused to furious in 2 seconds flat. He threw it to a girl on the couch. She read hers and stood up and pointed at the person who wrote it. This is what you think of me? The phone kept flying, hand to hand across the room, and every catch was a detonation. A boy read his entry, and his smile died, and he threw his cup at the wall so hard the plastic cracked. A girl on the arm of the couch read hers, and pressed her hand over her mouth, and her eyes went red. A kid I'd never talked to caught it, and scrolled and found a message about him from his own girlfriend, and he looked at her across the room, and she looked at the floor. Each toss ripped something open that had been stitched shut. Wes was chasing the phone around the room, shoving past people, knocking a drink off the coffee table that splashed across somebody's shoes. He grabbed a kid's arm, and the kid yanked free and threw the phone over Wes's head to someone behind him. Wes spun and the phone sailed. He lunged and missed and crashed into the bookshelf, and a picture frame fell off the top and shattered on the floor. Every person who read their entry backed away from him, pressing against the walls, and the circle around him got wider with each toss until he was standing in the middle of his own party, with nobody within 5 feet of him. The music was still playing, but nobody could hear it over the silence of 30 people reading what their friends actually thought of them.